The insurance carrier is choosing comes to the board, probably via the management company, and starts asking questions what happened. How will the board react to that?
What happened?
With 10 days left. It means in 10 days till the counterclaim has to be filed, there is no board meeting. And my assumption is, and Ralph actually confirmed that, is that most likely the lawyer will come to the board and say, okay, where do we stand on this? Yeah? What is your view on that one? Because they are obviously not familiar with that situation.
That's the case, then we're going to have a quick meeting.
Here's what's going to happen. Hopefully within the next 10 days, we're going to get a draft of a response to the complaint that the insurance attorney is going to send us. That will go to the board. The board will have about a couple of days to turn around and review this and add or subtract, or if the attorney takes it and say, here's my draft of the response. Is it correct?
Right.
And can you add anything to it? If you can add something, then they're going to polish it up, finalize the complaint, the response, and then they're going to mail it off on the 29th.
You're mailing off on the 29th.
Yeah. So I'm hoping in the next 10 days we're going to get that.
The draft will go to you?
Usually it comes to us, because now I'm the contact here for Stewart.
And then if you can get it,
I'm going to go right to the board. I'll email it to the board.
Thank you.
And probably do some hard mailing too. Propose that. And maybe, yes, and maybe Hans Lehman.
Okay, go ahead.
Sure. So I know this is a court case matter. I've got a concern about what's going on in this whole convoluted mess, because the way I understand it, looking at documents, the court documents, stuff like that, there's a court case between the BWS and 3 homeowners. And they pulled in the association as well.
That's right.
Whatever reasons that they want to include it. To my mind, obviously, the association has to defend itself through its insurance company in that legal.
That's why we're asking them to step on it.
Right, and the association will be defended from their position of what responsibility the association has between those 3 owners and the Board of Water Supply. And I'm happy with that. I don't have an issue. That's not my concern. My concern is this, and I think every neighbor here has the same concern, especially those that live on the east side of the valley. The Board of Water Supply is stating in their documents that they feel they have no responsibility for that ditch system. Quite clear. That they don't have any responsibility, that never made claims to them, and that basically we have no right to that ditch system. Who's going to look after it? Who is going to look after the neighborhood to ensure that those ditches are put back into the condition that they work, or if they don't work, that ditches are put in there that will work?
The ditches were there. I understand what you're saying. Our concern is that we've heard many times the ditches were there, but they were bulldozed.
I understand, but that's
exactly. And that's why we're not involved. If they have a problem with water supply, then they should address it directly to water supply and not get the homeowners association involved with that.
But, and I agree with you that that any damage that was caused to those berms is between those owners and the Board of Water Supply. And really doesn't have anything to do with the association. However, the association has a responsibility to us to ensure that berm system is maintained, looked after, and protects us.
Yes, definitely.
That's what I'm asking. What is the board doing about that? not that court case.
No.
It maybe is tied into that.
It is tied definitely into it.
But what is the association, our board, doing to protect
The same
the
thing
neighborhood interest?
with fire breaks. Ron and Dave mentioned the same thing with fire breaks. That's within our boundaries. If you go out and you don't do your job with maintaining the fire breaks, then yes, the property owner next to that might own the next property, but I'll turn around and sue that one. If you had a problem and you did something to damage something else, and it affected you, and then it affects the whole homeowners association, it's between you and whoever
The property
owns.
owner. The property owner.
Yeah.
Not the person causing damage.
The person is the
What
one.
I'm saying is this whole damage thing is muddled the water because basically,
Why was that?
basically what it's saying is that saying to the association don't get involved, but the association has a responsibility to all of us, to the whole neighborhood, to ensure that a system that was put in there for our neighborhood protection
Exactly.
is maintained.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. What is our association doing on that part? I'm not interested to cause the damage.
I know.
That's between
I know.
that damages and their insurance. Whoever those three people, they must sort out with their
That's
insurance.
exactly what this board is doing from now on. We want to make sure that whatever, and it may mention by landlords and other homeowners, that with the incidents that have happened in the past, they need to make sure, and that's why we work with water supply, they need to make sure that those ditches are maintained. We have no responsibility having water supply tell us they've been doing it. They're saying they're doing it perfectly fine. Whatever they're going to do, they're going to say it. We already have been, this board has talked to water supply regarding those concerns. The legal concerns that had this board to go into there, that's a whole different story what we talked about. This is what this board is saying. We did not cause anything of that. We should not be the ones who are being penalized. It should be the person or the homeowner that made that.
Correct.
And that's exactly right. So that's
So the
what
board, I want to understand this clearly. So the association, our board here, are acting in a responsible fiduciary manner to make sure that the BWS who owns that land
Yes.
is going to look after those ditches
Yes.
in the long term.
Yes, exactly.
That's what scared me.
Exactly. Because they say we have no proof, but they said before it was bulldozed that it was maintained. And then all of a sudden they're like, we had somebody going after it, and they kind of pull back.
No, make it all cloud.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I understand.
Let me just clarify one other thing. It's interesting the way this is all developed for Monolith Estates. Because as you realize, both sides, Board of Water and Monolith Estates, filed claims back last year in December to avoid the statute of limitations. And we went ahead and filed, but we did not serve. And we let our service of that expire in 6 months, so that by the June of this year, our complaint against the Board of Water went away. We lost our right now to go after the Board of Water. But in some ways, that worked to our advantage. The issues of who maintains the burn system, who damaged the burn system, those issues are still all out there in the amended complaint and are going to be discovered and brought to the fore. What's neat about this is the Board of Water jumped the gun and went ahead and amended their complaint and filed it and served it against us. Guess what? They're the complainant. They have the burden of proof now, and we are in a defensive position, and we have the insurance companies footing our bill. Because if we had gone the other way, we would have to be taking on
My concern about that, my concern about that is the insurance company is going to defend us against the lawsuit. They're not going to ensure that the long-term viability of those ditches, because that's not in the lawsuit.
Oh, but it is. It's going to come out.
Count one.
When they start doing discovery work, that's all going to come out. Because we're going to have them show us. Prove your complaint again.
I think that there have been so many issues like this BWS that is so muddled that some of us that belong on committees had talked about maybe perhaps the board could put out a semi-annual newsletter. Certainly, it wouldn't be uncalled for to have a newsletter go out now, or right when we get this new information regarding this, the fire breaks, the security, any and all issues that perhaps the separate committees could write their report, and then the board could collate it into a newsletter to be sent out by mail to all owners.
That's a form of communication.
Yeah, I would think so, because there's so many, a lot of people, it's caused a lot of anxiety and a lot of dissension in our neighborhood, which is not good.
But I think that, eventually, hopefully, under new business, we can have that discussion regarding having a newsletter. Of course, everybody...
You don't want to make a motion tonight?
Well, we'll talk about it, and we'll see how much, there's a cost factor and stuff. But the whole thing is getting the word out, as we mentioned, who's doing what, and what needs to be done, etc. So,
that would also be another thing, that Jeff Stone trip. There's a lot of absentee owners.
Okay, for some reason you're avoiding the 30-ton elephant in the room.
Are you an elephant?
No, you're not avoiding me. Count 1 of the amended complaint is specifically titled Declaratory Relief. We can't run away from count 1. Count 1 is only against the association, and it has to do with who's going to maintain that drainage system. The board cannot negotiate with the Board of Water Supply directly, individually, or anything, because this is in litigation. So you cannot solve it at this point. The time is past for us to solve it by talking to them. If their lawyers allow you to talk with them, I would be shocked. Even though you already did, as I know. Right, yeah. I don't think our future lawyer would recommend that. Nevertheless, if we don't win on count 1, we have the potential to fix the system back to where it was, or fix the system to the way the engineer designed it, and we have to maintain it from there on infinitum. The cost of that to your association is anywhere from $500,000 to a couple $1 million.
And then we just charge the person who bulldozed.
You can do that, but in the meantime, you have to fight this. It's the board's problem, not the owner's problem.
Sorry about that.
Count 1 is the board's problem.
You made it the problem.
Oh, I did?
Go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, I just want to put you on notice that the responsibility for the drainage system and the protection of Montaholu, which is currently unsafe at this time,
Because someone bulldozed it. Go ahead.
whatever the reason, is on your shoulders.
Oh, that's why we're discussing it now, and this is why this board has come about and saying that it shouldn't have happened in the first place.
That's not a solution.
Oh, it's happening now.
It's not a solution.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Anybody? Any questions?
Well, I understand what Al was saying. The issue here at count 1 is that's their amended complaint against the AOAO. The burden of proof is on the Board of Water Supply, and that is going to be a big element. If the Board of Water Supply can prove in court in this land, in Hawaii, that Montaholu has the responsibility to maintain that ditch, and we don't even have an easement right, like the Powers do.
But well, it's going to be hard to fight if our board president doesn't think it's his issue.
I'm not saying it's the board president.
I think the board steps. I do think the board steps up here tonight, and they say that if they understand the issue, they can take responsibility for it. Am I right? Nine boards. You got to take responsibility for making sure that we don't have a special assessment for hundreds of thousands of dollars each to rebuild a Burma, and that we obviously safeguarded with some a ditch system that was established there as a minimum. Because we are bought into that.
Yeah.
as neighbors, that there was a ditch system.
Yes.
John,
I'm happy.
do you intend to have further meetings with you and the Board of Water Supply?
I have discussions on it, saying that we have not made any decisions, but I wanted to find out what has been done in the past, why are we here, what are we doing in order to make it, and this is why the board voted on not being part of the suit for water supply. It should be the homeowners. Making mention of that, the people who ever went out and created this problem. Yes, you're going to point fingers and blame, but majority of the board members have made mention that it was a contractor that went out and went into it, encroached. Even water supply said that. So in order for water supply to be reactive, they're going to go say, hey, we're going to go against you guys too, because it's Monroe Association went out and supported the homeowners that what water supply did not do. Which meaning cleaning up the ditch. But water supply knows also too that the ditch was encroached. And you have property owners that are saying that it was alternated in their testimony that they agreed with the people that went out and did the damage to the property, saying that they never agreed. They made letters which the previous president had said that they supported it, and they came out and we have it on record that saying they never said it.
I don't even know what you just said.
Sorry, I don't understand.
I didn't.
I don't quite understand.
None of that makes
Because
sense.
the guys were...
No, please, I didn't quite understand.
There's a property owner that said that he saw that the water did come across. He said he did not. It was because of a contractor that went and bulldozed went across the ditch to burn. And that's how the water came through. The previous source.
And that's something between BWS and those property owners.
Yes, exactly.
Not really to do with the association.
That's the whole reason. That's why the reason that we asked we were going to do. So we decided this board that we should not get involved. So I went down with Landis and we talked to water supply. We told them, this is what has been done. We feel, this board, as homeowners also too, that we're not responsible, and how come our name, how come the association is involved in this lawsuit? Sorry, we don't want to be there. We shouldn't be there. And they say what they did, the homeowners at the time, worked with the previous board in getting what they needed to do to get the ball rolling, and this is the situation and the reason why we're here. Here meaning with the suits, etc. from water.
I understand that, but we're still in the same position.
The same.
We're still in the same position as we were before.
Because
No, we're not spending all that money.
No, we're still in the same position. And why I say that is we still have a system up there that doesn't work any longer.
it has worked.
You know it's working less and less and less. Each time now we get a heavier rain, it does other damage.
I'm sorry, it's failed. It does not work.
I don't want to see a situation where in 5 years' time we have Mr. Fluger, and someone comes back to the association and the board and says, why did you not make sure that was corrected? Because now we have a house washed away and someone died. Because that can happen with a bad flood. And when it happens, whoever has been involved, right through, and you see how far back they go and look, whoever's been involved, they're going to look at those decision makers and say, what did you do to fix up that
problem? Let's make a recommendation. All the property owners that are abiding by the firm, put an 8-foot wall up there, so you don't have that problem.
We can't. It will be sued.
No, I know, but that's what you're going to make those owners that are up there build a canal?
No.
That's what you're asking. You're asking them to build a canal.
We're not doing
And you're asking those property owners up there to protect the rest of us down below by building a canal.
Yeah, I think so.
But the water is coming.
I think so too.
The water is coming off BWS. It's not coming off their property.
I think we're speculating way too far.
No, I need a clarification.
This is what worries me is that I don't want to have I that's not going to protect the neighborhood's interest.
Okay, well,
That's what I'm saying. You said, like that you are going to protect our interest up there as a board.
Yes, of course. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to work with Board of Water Supply. We had no control over the contractor going over the berm.
Got nothing to do with it.
Anyone?
Got nothing to do with it.
Because that's the situation we're here right now.
That's between DWS and that contractor.
That is Mother Nature.
We're at, all I'm saying here tonight, we're at a point where we're at a better advantage than we were a month ago.
Okay, that's great, but
Basically because all this discovery still has to happen, because he's talking about an individual owner did something to a berm. There are other people out there talking about other things that weren't done to the berm. Then they're talking about all the maintenance that hasn't been done for the last 40 years. That's an issue. All I'm saying is now our defense costs are being picked up by our insurance and not costing you a dime. And moving with all this discovery, it's all going to get out on the table. If our lawyers do their job, it's all going to be discovered, and we're going to get to the truth. And when we get to the truth, then we're going to find out who's going to maintain that berm.
But the one part I don't understand is if we are all nicely covered and the costs are there and it's in professional hands and the lawyers doing their job, I'm hearing that John basically wants, beside of that cost, have a second line of conversation with the Board of Water Supply where you basically try to settle with these guys out of court.
We're not settling. We're not settling.
Let me address that for a moment. Because anytime you file a suit and you hire legal counsel, that person cannot talk to the other person.
That's right.
Without going through their counsel.
That's right.
But there is nothing stopping two individual homeowners who have counsel up there. There's nothing stopping them talking to each other at any time and mediating the problem. There's nothing to stop that. So if this board wants to go and talk to the board down at the Board of Water, there's nothing illegal about that. But they can't talk to the Board of Water when the Board of Water's got their attorney sitting there.
Yeah.
Or we have our attorney sitting there. You can't do it then.
But I mean, I start to get a little bit of trouble. If I understand your position right, John, your position basically is this is not an association problem. If anybody has a problem with the berm not functioning, especially those owners which live right next to it, they should settle that with the Board of Water Supply themselves. That is your position, right? Yeah. And if you represent the association and talks with the Board of Water Supply with that position, are you representing the owners of Honolulu Estate, or are you representing just part of the owners?
Joe, if you did something illegal on your property, you did something illegal on your property, why bring your neighbors? Yeah, why bring your neighbors in? You deal with it with whomever you got to deal with, right?
So did you ever walk with them?
Of course.
The whole world? Of course. And I grew up
They were houses.
And
what else are you talking about?
They all walk through there before the roof of neighborhood.
no. Bring it forward to the board, send it to the Board of Water Supply, basically, then we do legally.
Yeah. Okay. That's the same reason why I had asked. The same reason why I had asked that I got an email from Frenzel regarding the town meeting when he had spoke before Councilmember Bird regarding the suit and what the water supply was doing. I said, you can't do that because we're under litigation. He got all mad. He said, what I'm going to do, threaten him again. I looked at Al and I go, what is this guy talking about?
Okay, anyways, John, you just made two contradictory remarks.
Yes, I did. Please. Okay.
Excuse me. Now, you said you're not fighting the case. You said you voted against not pursuing the Board of Water Supply. Was that our case we filed?
No, I talked about
What that motion was, that this board agreed not to go ahead and serve the complaint that we already filed.
Yes.
We had it expired. That's all we did.
It has nothing to do with not fighting this. Count one, right?
You deal with it.
Excuse me?
It's what you're doing. You're the property owner that was affected. We're not involved. Pardon?
See, that's what you're talking about. You're not protecting me as an owner of Honolulu.
No, I'm protecting us as owners. It's costing us a lot of money.
You don't understand.
No, you don't understand.
Can you?
John, one minute.
I know. John,
come back to the board.
That's the reason why I'm doing this, and this is why I'm here.
But in case, just plain, simple language.
Yeah.
For you, it is basically, it would be okay with we settle with the Board of Water Supply.
No, that's the board. That's the board voting on it. Yeah. It's not me. It's the board. It becomes more of a personal, it's like me, because I'm the person that I can speak out, and I represent the board, and I represent the homeowners. So if I make a comment regarding that, then it's more of a personal thing towards me.
But let me assist and explain something. I'm named in one of them. I'm not coming to the board to help me. It's my problem. I have my insurance handle it, and my attorney handle it. If an event that would happen when this thing happened down the street, there's three of us named. You're one of them. I'm the other, and someone else, and Anderson. It's for us to take care of that problem. If Mother Nature decided to crash down on my house, I'm not going to run to the board and say, hey, the rest of you guys help me out. No way. That's the whole point.
okay, I will...
My property is my problem. That's what I'm handling. I don't want to get you guys involved.
So you don't feel that ditch system
No,
really of any importance?
No, because it's been there forever, and we purchased our property. It's now for us to maintain our property. And we have the board here to assist us in maintenance of the common way. That's about it.
But we all bought our property understanding there was a storm ditch system above us to take the runoff that comes down those steep ravines.
You knew that when you bought your property?
Yeah.
Oh, you saw that? Then they said
Yeah, but there was a ditch system.
There was no...
That's why you look straight up there.
We can't go back years ago.
I don't know, they might be able to do it. I mean, I can tell you that I knew there was a ditch system.
Is it in writing from your real estate agent?
No, we should have gotten it in writing that we were in a flood zone.
Whole valley's a flood zone.
Oh, well, then it should have been disclosed.
At the CCR,
Why was that the
ground.
It doesn't say flood.
You have a valley up there.
That's not stainless water.
John, do you have no interest in looking at the damage in the berm you haven't seen for many years?
Yes, I did.
No, in the last 2 years?
I walked through.
Excuse me?
I said, I already did already. I told you many times.
No, you said when you were a long time ago. I'm talking the last 2 years.
The last 2 years?
Yeah.
No, because it's not my property. Up in there. Doesn't matter.
You asked me to walk it with you one day. I did.
Yes. And did you see that disaster?
Like this?
Yeah, somebody went and go.
Get yourself a civil engineer.
Next meeting.
Figure it out.
Next meeting, August 23rd.
Is that okay, everybody?
That's all.
Hearing everybody?
Yes.
Okay, we adjourn.
Thank you.